Welcome to AI Made Simple with Carmen, the podcast that takes the confusion out of artificial intelligence and shows you how to use it with confidence. I'm your host, Carmen Skipworth, global AI strategist, international speaker, best-selling author of Lead with Intelligence, and Grammy-nominated associate producer. Each episode, I sit down with innovators, experts, founders, and business leaders to find out what's actually working with AI. No hype, no jargon, and no complicated tech talk, just what's real. Whether you're a business leader, entrepreneur, or simply curious about how AI is changing the way we work and live, you're in the right place. You'll walk away with tools you can actually use, strategies you can apply, and a clearer picture of what's working, what's not, and what's next. This is AI Made Simple. Hit subscribe, settle in, and let's get real about AI. Let's dive in. Welcome to my show. Welcome to AI Made Simple. I'm your host, Carmen Skipworth. Today we have here Alana Cahoon, who is a transformational mindfulness coach, energy healer, and sought-after speaker who empowers high-achieving professionals and entrepreneurs to align their careers and lives with their sole purpose. With a strong track record of supporting successful tech entrepreneurs in launching and scaling their companies, she brings a unique blend of strategic insight and spiritual wisdom to her coaching practice. Tune into her podcast, Creating Abundance for a Wealth of Wisdom. And today we're also exploring something really relevant now, how women like Alana are using AI as a tool for expansion, creativity, and leadership without losing their voice in the process. So welcome, Alana. I'm so excited to have you here.
Hi, Carmen. It's delightful to be here. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yes, this is great. So let me start by asking you about your journey. What originally led you into this work?
As a coach, I've always loved to help people. It's definitely, the nurturer and the creative. And to be honest, my journey, there was threefold. My first career path was as an actress, singer, songwriter in New York City.
Wow.
And from there, I moved and became the program director of this tech startup incubator, and
Wow.
then a marketing consultant. And then finally, I realized that my true love, which is holistic health, which is what I did, I dabbled in, not just dabbled, I studied, I read, I took courses, I took classes, I went on retreats, I got certifications. All of a sudden, I was like, wait, this is what I want to do. I want to help people who are so intensely stressed out, like the entrepreneurs I worked with, um, and to teach them, offer them some tools, some solutions that are natural, easy, simple to use. And so I'm a meditation coach, mindfulness coach. I help high achievers to be aligned with their soul purpose and have a peace at home and a big bank account at the same time.
That's fantastic. From business perspective to something holistic. That's really, really, really interesting. Was there anything that stepping into this next level require you to let go of? So here you are, business, marketing, advising businesses, and into this holistic. Was there anything that you felt like made you let go to get in? Because they're very different, right?
Um, well, what I suppose inspired or motivated me into this direction was I literally had one of those cosmic moments where I felt a hand on my back saying, it's time. This is
Mm.
what you're meant to do. And then once I stepped into those shoes, I remember the first hat, so to speak, that I wore was as a Reiki master teacher. And I remember meeting with all my tech entrepreneurs and CEOs, and I'm like, yeah, so I do Reiki. And they looked at me like, what? And I said, yoga, yoga. Oh, yeah, I know yoga. So then I went out and got certified in yoga and thought, okay.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's been a journey, nutrition and everything. But now, years later, that was over a decade ago, these same CEOs are familiar with Reiki, which is healing energy,
Mm,
and they are familiar and with more holistic approaches because they are dealing with incredible stress in the world
yes,
today.
especially today.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Um, yeah, and a lot of things, especially for women, a lot of capable women still battle self-doubt. So, was there any time in your, journey where you had self-doubt, and how did you overcome that to be where you are, where we can have a takeaway from?
Carmen, I'm always suffering from self doubt. I don't know that. For me, I'm a sensitive person, so that means I'm an empath, empathetic. I feel a lot of the energy around me. I feel how other people feel,
Mm,
and so I. It's easy to lose attention on my own self and then want to step in to support others, and then I don't know. I think and I want to say that I think most people who know me would never believe that. They would just think I'm very confident, upbeat, laid back, driven. But for me personally, there's always a little bit of, was that okay? And then I've also gotten to the point, I have a degree in theater, so my acting
mm.
skills will kick in to say, this is not about you. Stop judging yourself. There'll be plenty of people who'll do that for you. And let my message and healing and coaching reach the people who are open to it.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, I think we all encounter self-doubt a lot. Can I do this? Is this the right thing to do? Or how do I know, this is the right, which, how do you know that you are evolving to a new version of yourself, right? Because that's
Mhm.
what this whole process of the journey is, especially for you, right? Transforming into a totally different career, um, or even just self elevating yourself to something. How do you know that you're on the right track, right? With self doubt.
Mhm. I have a meditation practice that helps me tremendously every morning. I do not miss it, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. And that's a time where I can quiet my mind or at least touch base with what's going on in my mind. Um, and sometimes that's referred to as activities in the mind, your thoughts. We have thousands and thousands of thoughts, and these
Yes.
are what get in the way. And if you hook onto a story that is doubt, that has holes in it of self doubt, being quiet and reflective and meditative allows you to be aware of those thoughts and drop them and know that those are just thoughts. Those are just stories that don't serve you. So I find that meditation practice is really helpful. And for people who are listening or viewing, meditation comes in all kinds of forms. You don't have to sit on the top of a mountain. You don't have to sit with your, legs crossed and your hands in. Wah, wah, wah. You can just sit wherever you are at your desk and just take a few deep breaths in and out for a few minutes. Focus on your breathing, and that will help you to center. And then shifting your thought patterns. If you're having a really challenging day and you're doubtful, to say, that's okay. How can I protect myself today? I'm feeling a bit more vulnerable. That's one way. Or shift your
Mhm.
mindset and say, I let that go. Today is a great day. Today's a great day. Today is a great day. And the more you say something like that, you really start shifting your mindset. It
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that. It's changing your mindset, and just by relaxing your mind, right?
Yeah.
Doing through meditation, which brings me to a book that Alana had written about, right? So this is one of her mindfulness mantras and meditations. And I've been reading it, and it's a really good way in case you don't know how to meditate, right? Or what do you say to quiet your mind, or like you said, just breathing. But sometimes people like us we're always thinking, And so having this book is a really great way to meditate. So I wanted to say thanks for doing that. And what made you decide to write it all down? Was it because people were having difficulties with meditating, or they were saying, how do I do my breathing with meditating?
Sure. Thank you for recognizing the book. It's been on the market since the pandemic. So I
Oh,
was in a
yeah.
meditation retreat at Kripalu, which is in the Berkshires. And it was a 9-day silent meditation retreat. And one day we went to our rooms and there was a piece of paper on each of our beds. And it said that there had been announced a global pandemic and that they were going to close down their entire building. We're talking
Wow.
100,000 square feet of space with programs from all over the world booked that weekend. And so all of a sudden, and you weren't allowed to have cell phones there at the time, they had some phone booths. Uh, and so there were lines of us. And of course, then we started to talk. It no longer was a silent retreat. And
Right.
when I got home, uh, it was such a different world being here in New York State. When I drove home 4 days later, I think I was the only car on the throughway
Wow.
for
Can't imagine
7
that.
hours. Yeah, or 5 hours. It was very bizarre. And so when I got home, I started to clean because that's what I do when I'm nervous. And I decided to clean my desktop. And there, lo and behold, were folders of all these books I started and I never
Wow.
completed. So I took that one and I completed it. I finished writing that. And it was a real book of love, and I've it's been very successful. It turned into a number one bestseller overnight, and people are still getting it, and so I'm really thrilled. And I have another book coming out now, so I'm super excited about that.
Yes, I know. I mean, this is a very useful book and very helpful. So thanks again for doing that.
Sure.
Now we're going to shift into how, when do you first start exploring AI in your
Mhm.
business? Like, holistic, is there a place for AI in meditation and holistic, or, let us know how you implement that.
Right. So, as a mindfulness coach, holistic coach, wellness coach, um, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a website, I have social media presence, I've got a YouTube station, I've got a podcast, and all of that takes entrepreneurial skills, business skills, marketing
Right,
skills.
right.
As much as I love being on stage and in front of the camera, I'm really super comfortable being behind the back,
Mhm.
probably from working with so many techies. They're very inspiring. So when ChatGPT first came about, I was alerted by one of my coaches
Hmm.
who happens to be a Zen Buddhist practitioner, lives in Costa Rica now. I think he went to, oh gosh, I can't even think of when it'll come to me. He studied at an Ivy League school in California. Super
Wow.
cool, love him to death. And he said, Lalana, you have to use ChatGPT. And I said, well, what? And so he taught me as it came out. And I started just kind of looking into it. I felt very uncomfortable. In fact, I remember
Yeah.
being on an AI summit with the Los Angeles Tribune.
Hmm.
And I submitted questions. I said, well, how can we trust this? Um,
Right.
and I wasn't allowed to address that question yet.
Interesting. Really. I wonder why. Like, why would they,
Well, maybe
it's a
I
question.
think it's because everybody was wondering that, and it was so new that they weren't really
Hmm.
sure, to be honest. And I have to say, I still am not so sure they're sure. I mean, look at the whole
Hmm.
social media wave. I mean, wow, huge! It's changed the
Right.
entire globe, and yet it's caused a lot of pain and suffering and misery, especially for young people that they didn't expect and anticipate, had no idea. So I think this is a new, not as new anymore, but a very new gazelle, so to speak. So it's a
Mm,
new launch of a technology that we haven't tested out. So we're the guinea pigs right now. And
right.
yeah, so I did a lot of research. I listened to podcasts. And of course, I got my own chat GPT, and then I got my professional one. And uh, what I think my biggest concern was um, not to sound like anybody else. So I use it primarily for marketing materials. That's what I use it
Mm,
for, right? I'm
okay.
always sending out posts and I'm always writing newsletters and um, marketing information for my website. And so, and you, I'm sure you know this because you're an expert, but there is a way to create, and I may not have the right technology, but maybe it's a bot or something, but your own private platform within ChatGPT to brand yourself and say, this is who I am. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like. Here are some of my books. This is the way I write. And then they actually take your material, and then I have conversations, which I learned through a mutual colleague,
And
Jeff,
your chat.
actually. I'm like, wait,
And your
you guys are talking to this thing? That sounds insane. But yeah, so I'll say, I'd like to write a post that's something like this. And I said, what do you think? And then they'll just come back and they'll say, well, I think with your branding and the way you see the world, you might want to just tweak it here. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Or sometimes I just ignore it. And what I've also found is it's supporting me getting back into the flow of writing um, in my own voice. So anyway, that's how I use it. And I
mm,
think a lot of entrepreneurs are using it to support them one way or another, but being fully aware that it has to be um, your
correct.
voice. Yeah.
Right. Right. And a lot of people don't do that. And then I'm going back to when you were mentioning social media,
Yeah.
right? So social media is supposed to connect us, and right, in a sense, it's kind of disconnected, like how you were mentioning too. A lot of us, a lot of people, even though they use social media, become more isolated somehow, right? I guess that, like you're saying, personal interaction isn't there. And then with AI, that kind of comes into play as well, where you're chatting to this, right?
Yeah.
Bot and giving you, but as long as you know it's more of an assistant, um, that's not a real person, and not to depend on it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's great to hear that you do use it in your marketing. But I've also wondered, have you ever thought, because I do it sometimes too, where I'm like, and again, this is where this book comes in handy, but I don't have it all the time. So sometimes I'm just like, gosh, I just need to relax, and I'll ask my chat GPT or Gemini, whatever, and I'll say, what would be a good meditation, or this is my day today. It's so busy and I really need time. There's going to be levels of stress. I need to de-stress. Where do you recommend I put in some meditation, or what are some de-stressing methods? So have you done that? And do you think the answers they give are good as well? Or is it impersonal? Like, what are your thoughts on these suggestions that AI is giving for de-stressing and meditation and all that?
Wow. I never even considered it. I have been teaching meditation for so long. I actually started practicing at 16 and
Wow.
have studied so many different um, spiritualities and non-spiritual meditations and contemplations that I know I have the answers, right? I know what
Wow.
meditations I would need, and I know I actually write meditations for my clients all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, personalized to them. And so what's interesting, and you also mentioned it, which I think is super important, someone mentioned it the other day, is AI is not a person.
Mm-hmm.
They are not real. They're
Correct.
based on a lot of information, a collective information out there
All
that
the data. Yep.
all the data. And so, although it may sound exactly what you need, it it may not be. So,
Mm.
really go with your gut as well with that. Um,
Mm.
but I don't know. To be honest, as you were talking about that, Carmen, I was thinking what I would add is um, asking that AI, this is what my day is like.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a meditation that Alana Cahoon would give, or that Thich Nhat Hanh would
Yes,
give, or that another one of your, meditation gurus, teachers that you know? Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and then that they're taking the data from an expert
Mm-hmm.
that is a bit more trustworthy. And just a thought. I don't know. I've never tried it. It would be interesting. So now I'm going to have to go and say, hey, write me a meditation that I would write.
Yeah, yeah. Or, where, is there time for me in my day? What would be a good place for me to meditate? Because it's so important these days to let your mind rest, right? And we don't do
Absolutely.
that in
Mhm.
our busy lives. So it's just kind of how and when do we do it? And the fact that you might have to rely on AI to tell us when to go and relax is not really very good either. But it's kind of come to a point where people are, and so just curious to see what your thoughts are on that. But I
Yeah.
love your suggestion on, what would Alana say? What would her suggestions be versus what do you think, ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Because how do they really know, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Compared to what you have. So I really like that. So I know we're kind of coming towards the end. I want to go more on it, but I'd love to talk a little bit about your upcoming book. If you
Oh,
have a cover
sure.
and tell us all about it and
Yeah.
what to
So
expect. And
it really is a culmination of almost all of the work that I do with my clients. And so this is what it
creating
looks like. I don't
abundance.
know. Is that coming through clear?
Oops, you're disappearing a bit.
Oh,
You have to
about
go
that.
back, maybe. Even you've disappeared.
There we
Okay, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
are.
That's good right there. Creating
Yeah,
abundance.
okay. So it's creating abundance. Um, Access your
Excellent.
inner wisdom to manifest radiant health, wealth, and happiness in your life. And I've got a great
Wow.
foreword by Moe Rock, CEO of Los Angeles Tribune, and um, already some beautiful editorial reviews. But it is exactly what I said in the beginning. It's talking. I share some of my clients' stories. I don't necessarily use their names, their true names, but I'll give you one example. So, and this I can use because she's gone online with me. Her name is Kim, and she started working with me as a client, woman,
Mm.
obviously, and she's an engineer. So she works in a tech company, huge company, and she just got promoted to lead 10, a team of 10 who are all men. And her mission was, how do I get their trust in me as a woman
Right.
it's never been done before there. And so we worked on that and what her style was and what her authority was. And, that she got that position because of who she is.
Hmm.
And as we worked throughout the year, by the end of the year, that team turned into 100.
Wow.
And a year later, 1 or 2 years later, um, I talked to her. We started working together again, and she was now leading 1,000 engineers.
Wow. Wow.
Became a VP of a very big company, and so it's like,
Wow.
and so how did she do it? That was
That's fantastic.
stressful. very
Yeah.
small, but
Yeah.
journaling, meditating, the health
Mhm.
regime that we work through with her, etc.
Yeah.
So many varieties of tools that will help you step into your power, move ahead, advance in your career without losing a sight of your health and well-being, the well-being of yourself and the loved ones around you.
Yeah, that is really what a great story to hear that the success and how you've helped her in that. Um, so, as we conclude here, what would your advice to our listeners be if to add meditation, holistic, and if you do suggest AI or not, what would be three great takeaways for everyone to be able to relax and de stress?
Sure. Okay, so the first takeaway is based on your question of when, and I would like to highly suggest to meditate first thing in the morning
Mm.
before your mind gets too busy. Right? In the
But what if
morning,
you wake up and you're already like scheduling your day or whatever?
exact. Well,
How
so
do you?
think of it as part of your morning grooming. If
Mm.
you get dressed in the morning or shower in the morning or brush your hair, brush your teeth, wash your face, whatever it is, bring this to it. Some of my clients, including myself, I love to have my cup of coffee and my smoothie at my
Oh.
meditation setting. And I sit and I'll very mindfully have my breakfast
Mm.
very slowly. And that in and of itself brings you into a place of power. This
Mm.
isn't just about calming down and being chill. This is about grounding yourself and centering yourself in that place of strength and firmness. You can then schedule. Oh, okay, it's crazy, but what are the top three things today? What are the most important things?
So when you're having your breakfast, you're just breathing and thinking.
Breathing, being aware of the coffee, looking at your beverage, um, looking at the health qualities of the smoothie, and then taking pauses, taking 5 minutes. If you
Mhm.
ideally it's 20 minutes. 25 minutes is the
Right.
ideal number of
Yep,
meditation time. Ideal.
I do.
But if you are squished for time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you do what you can. And during that breakfast, if that's what you choose, spend 5 of those minutes not drinking or eating and just focusing on your breath going in and out.
Mhm.
And that will bring you into a peaceful place. So, meditate in the morning, and you can participate with mindful eating as well.
Right. What about music? Because sometimes people put in calming music and then
Oh,
they
yeah,
meditate.
I love it. Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
I
right.
like pure silence, but explore. There's so much beautiful ambient music out there now.
Yeah, right. Just have that to
Yes.
calm your mind. Nice.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
That's
go.
very good. Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
And when using AI, be clear and authentic about who you are and what you need and what your intentions are,
Mhm.
um, not someone else's. You don't want to be like anybody else, not really. You want to be you. How do you bring your secret magic to the table, to your voice, and to your work, and to your message, your messaging? How do you get it out there?
Right. So is the
Um,
prompt maybe the way you ask GPT or chat or whoever, say, hey, this is what I like and this is what's important to me, versus just give me a meditation, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
make it more
Yeah.
personal, like you said.
Right, right. Making it more personal. I think that's what it's really all about.
Right,
Authenticity, maintaining that authenticity throughout all of your work with AI
right.
is key.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, yeah, if that's all you, I mean, I could feel like I could go on. Oh, wait, do you have one more or?
I have a free gift. It's a free online meditation guide that I also
Mhm.
wrote. You can get it on Amazon or get it free with this link.
Yes, then we'll post
It's by
that.
Alana Cahoon. I sent it to you. So if you can put it in the show notes, that would be great.
Will
Um,
do.
yeah, I think it's called Meditation Made Simple. And my website is alanacahoon.com. And please visit my podcast, Creating Abundance.
Yeah, I would love to just learn how to meditate and calm in the stressful world that we live in right now. Absolutely. So, thank you, Alana, for being our guest today. And that's all for today's episode of AI Made Simple. If you found these insights helpful, be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform and leave us a review. It helps others curious minds for the show and for more resources on navigating the age of intelligence. Check out the show notes or visit our website. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode as we continue to make the future a little more accessible, one conversation at a time. Thank you, Alana.
Thank you.